So in my last video, I briefly touched on narcissistic supply, so this will be a more detailed video on that topic. I said narcissistic supply is a person or event which feeds the ego, and like a drug addict, the narcissist needs the supply to thrive. They need this very badly because the true self is so repressed from some type of childhood trauma that they experienced, it no longer exists. What is in place is a false self, which can only stay alive if they obtain enough fuel to feed it. Much like a fantasy character, the false self only exists if people believe in it. This character was created to shield the narcissist from pain and gain pride. He subconsciously seeks to recreate childhood trauma. In a weird paradox, he is terrified of the pain and abandonment. There's a phenomenon known as self-orchestrated abandonment, which means his behavior is so horrid and he's so afraid of being abandoned that he actually causes people to leave him by being so terrible to them. I will definitely need to make a video on that topic alone. The narcissist is a shell of a person with absolutely nothing on the inside. It's just an empty void. He's constantly searching for himself, constantly molding and taking care of the false self which he has cultivated. When the outside world doesn't pay attention to him, he becomes very scared and frustrated and overwhelmed. Normal, healthy adults can generate their own self-esteem, their own self-worth. A narcissist is unable to do this. They become very withdrawn and depressed if people don't pay attention to them. Narcissistic depression is different than generalized depression. He might be sad over a tragic event or loss of a family member, but a true narcissist depression has one cause, which is some type of injury to their self-esteem known as lack of supply. He begins to have a meltdown. He might become a mild schizoid, closing himself off from others and becoming a recluse. As Sam Vatkin describes, he administers half-truths and delusions to heal his aching soul and enters mild psychosis. You'll hear me quote Sam Vatkin a lot. He's one of the leading guys in the field. He's written books. He has a great YouTube channel, so I recommend checking him out. And more on the false self. The narcissist generally wears two masks. One of these masks is who he really wants to be. It's a super charismatic, amazing, godlike person who he wishes he was, but he knows he isn't. This is what he presents to the world. This is the self that he wants superficial attention. The second mask is generally like a scared, wounded puppy, desperate for love. This is the person, he'll reveal this mask if you can get close to him. Underneath these masks, it's just pure evil. Whichever mask he's wearing, he's always depressed underneath, constantly in pursuit of excitement, attention, and drama. Again, as Sam Vatkin describes, it's as if he built a dam to hold back the waters of reality, and cracks begin to form, little bits of reality begin to seep through. He frantically tries to plug them up so people don't discover his true self. Eventually, it will break and it'll flood him with reality that he's been hiding from.